Hi everyone. In this video, we will try to understand the practical implementation, how the CPU cores, threads, and how the Node.js uses them. Let's try to see. I will try to run a live experiment to push my CPU to the limit, and I will show you the exactly what happens when you run the Node.js code and all those things. So let's try to check it. So now, as I already told you, right? The CPU things it will work with a concurrency and also a parallelism. So if you're having more than one single core. So what is the concept of concurrency and parallelism? We have seen it theoretically. In the practical implementation, we'll try to see. Now, if you see here, this is my terminal in the left side, and the right side, you are able to see my activity monitor. So right now, the CPU idle is around 71%, something like that. So that means it is running some other concept, some other things. So maybe my screen recording or anything. So many things are going on. So that's why it is around 73%, 74%, 76%, something like that. Okay. And the system is using 3.6 and the user is using 24% threads. So if I try to move over the mouse like this, so here the CPU system is increasing 4.63 and again it is decreasing to 3.6. So that means when the mouse is moving also it is taking so many of things. So now, so let's try to run our Node.js thing and let's see that how we can push the CPU idle. So that means most of the time the CPU is in idle state, right? So let's try to see. And if you want to see the process and all those things which is taking more CPU means, so here you can able to see. So here my CPU it is taking OBS Studio is taking around 214% CPU. That means more 2 cores of the things is using, right? 2 cores it is already using the 2 cores. So other than that, so nothing is there. So very remaining all are minor thing. So fine, let's go to our Node.js. Just I want to run the Node.js. Now, if you want to check how many CPU cores are there, if you want to check how many cores are there in your machine means in Node.js, you can use something like so node os.availableParallelism. This is the method which you can able to see. So here I am having the 10 cores. So you can also see about this os.cpus which will give you about the physical cores that is available. So os.cpus.length if you try to check it. So this is also giving the so this is what I want to tell you is os.cpu.length it is giving you the total number of physical cores and available parallelism means so it can consist you the logical cores also not just the physical cores. So you need to understand about the difference between physical cores and the logical cores. So I don't want to go deeper into this one. So physical cores are the actual CPU cores inside your processor. Logical cores means it includes the hyper threading and all those things. So that means so for example let's say that if you're having a single physical core means so in some processors like Intel and all those things and you'll be having some other thing, right? So they will be using the hyper threading process. So one physical core can act as a 2 cores. So that means normally 1 core means it is a 1 unit of execution, right? Instead of running that one, so it will try to handle the 2 units of execution. So that means one core can able to have 2 program counters. So that is the thing which I want to tell you. So for example, let's say that in your system, if you are running the Windows system or something like that, you may have 4 physical cores, but the logical cores you may be having 8. So that means each physical core is something like it is managing with a two program counters it is having. So that means process can able to execute one physical core can able to execute 2 process. So fine. So in my case, I am having 10 physical cores and also 10 logical cores. So both they are one and the same only. So if you try to check it, so 10 physical cores, 10 logical cores and 10 physical cores. So that means total I am having the 10 cores. So logical and my physical one and the same only. So that means I can able to run 10 operations in the parallel. So let's try to run this one. So now if I try to open my activity monitor, so it is around 70% something it is running. So why? Because 20% of the thing is taken by the my screen recorder and remaining 10% means it is taken by the clock running or something process running, activity monitor, terminal and all those things. So many things are there, right? So these all the things will be taken care. So most of the things you'll be able to see the total process running in my system is around 619 process and the threads that are running is 2867. Most of the time things will be in the sleep mode only. So only some of them will be in the ready mode or in the running mode. So that's it. So some background task or something like that running. But basically you got this idea. So I have got a lot of unused CPU right now. So let's try to run this CPU. So now let's go. I open your terminal and I will open the node. And here what I will try to do is so I will run while of 1 and like this. So this is an infinite loop. So let's try to run this one and press enter. So if you try to press enter, So here you'll be able to see the Node.js is running with a 99.100% it is taking, and my core has been decreased to 60%. Okay, so I can open like this because the loop runs forever, but in the active monitor you can able to see that is 100% CPU. So now one core is fully dedicated to this task. Also notice that each node process starts with multiple threads, but here you'll be able to see that threads are 11 in my thing. So we already learned that Node.js has only single thread, but here 11 threads are there. So here, so 4 threads will be used by the libuv worker pool, so which we'll try to learn in the future. And we have some other threads for the V8 engine, and also there will be a separate thread for the garbage collection for the JavaScript, and you'll be having some other internal CSC, C++ system threads also. So total, when you run a Node.js, you'll be able to see 11 threads will be running. So if you run a minimal C program also, so you typically see only one thread unless you explicitly created more. So now let's try to open another terminal. So I will go to the node, and here also I will try to run this while loop again. So you'll be able to see the two node processes are running with 2 cores and taking 100%. So I know that I am having 10, right? So let's try to run this one, and again I will try to use this. So node, and here also I will run this one. So here 3 processes are running. So now you will be able to see the idle my CPU process is getting decreased. So now here if I try to run again, let me try like this, and here also I will try to take it, and here also I will try to take it, and here you'll be able to see my idle time is around 13-12%. So let's try to run again. So I am running it again one by one. So here the idle time has been decreased. So here if I try to run it like this, and here also I will paste it. So now you'll be able to see the percentage is going on drop, and you are able to see the only idle time is 1.78. So now each one is taking around 90% of the task. So now you can able to see that there is nothing is there. So now if I try to run again one node process again, so here if I try to run it again, so the idle time is around 0%. So the system idle time is 0%, and here the node process is taking around 70%. So the share is getting shared between these two things. So now if I try to run again node, and if I try to run this while loop again, see the percentage is getting dropped to 60%. So here what it is happening is, so we are having 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9, and if I try to run again some other process, and if I try to run again some other process, see here, so thus what I want to say is my user is taking around 95%, and the idle it is running is the 0%. So here almost all the threads are running with a 50% efficient thing. So here what it is happening here, so now the CPU usage per process has been dropped to 50% around, because I'm using the 10 cores. So I was using this one all, so already 20 cores, already 2 cores has been used by my screen recording or something like that, and remaining all is shared by this one. So that is why it's a, so now here you need to understand that each core is not dedicated to a specific task. So threads do not stick to the specific core forever. So these all the switching and all the context switching and all those things is happening, and here the OS schedules them around. So you can create more threads than cores, but you won't see a big performance gain after you have maxed out your cores. So that is one time you need to understand. So now if you want to close this one all means, so you can select these all the things, and you can force quit these all things immediately. So you'll be able to see my idle time has been increased. So what I mean to say is, so now you got a pretty good idea about this one. So here when I am trying to write the Node.js core, one core is dedicatedly use it for it, and whenever you are having more cores means parallel execution will take care, and when you exceed your work with the cores means, so automatically concurrence come into the place, and it will take care of all those things. So this is what I want to explain you. So now I hope that you may be having a clear understanding about the CPU cores and threads work in practice, and how Node.js interacts with them. So, so if you found this experiment helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my video. And thank you for watching. So see you next time.